Am I the asshole for laughing in my sister-in-law's face when she DNA tested my daughter?
What?
If you could live forever, would you? What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Dicksons, episode 10. We have not recorded in like almost 3 weeks.
3?
Yeah, it was like the 7th that we recorded, and it's the 21st.
Really?
It's like 2 weeks.
That kind of flew by.
So we today are on episode number 10, and we need to make sure my wife speaks a little bit louder because it didn't even pick up her voice that time.
Oh, well, I'm a little sick.
She
too.
is. She's sick. I had to go to the doctor for my back. We're falling apart. Kids are sick.
Caroline somehow is okay right now, but I don't expect that to be the case in a few days.
Nope. So we over this last week, we had one of the Am I the Asshole episodes, and one of the shorts, yep, of Am I the Asshole? Which one was it? Am I the Asshole for changing my mind about
The stay-at-home
mom thing? It's up to 90,000 views on Instagram.
That's insane.
When I was first like doing this, it was like the YouTube and then YouTube Shorts, obviously, and then TikTok. And I was sitting there and I was like, there is Facebook and Instagram, but like I don't know if I want to like take the time to do that. And then I sat there and thought about it. I was like, it would take me 10 seconds to upload there as well. So I mean, it doesn't make sense not to. And that's been I don't know if I've ever had a short even in my gaming. Like I have gaming shorts that are at like 100,000 views, but over like long periods of time. This just went to 80,000 views in like 3 days. So that's pretty
really
wild.
Cool.
Yeah. So considering that fact, we are going to add one Am I the Asshole story and discussion into every episode as a segment of the show, because that seems to be what people enjoy the most.
It's kind of fun too. I like it.
We'll alternate. Sometimes I'll have one, and then the next time she'll have one, and we'll just do one. We probably won't do entire episodes where it's just all Am I the Asshole, but we'll have one. So I found on Reddit, so there is a subreddit called Am I the Asshole, where people come in and they ask if they're the asshole, and then they post their story, and then people debate it. So I went and I grabbed the top discussed and commented and talked about Am I the Asshole of all time with like hundreds of thousands of replies and et cetera, et cetera. So, and then we're going to see what my wife / our reaction is to it.
Okay, story time.
Okay. Am I the asshole for laughing in my sister-in-law's face when she DNA tested my daughter?
What?
I, 30 male, have a daughter who's 6. I am not biologically related to her at all. There is no blood relation between us. I was friends with her mother for most all of my childhood. We were never involved romantically, and we were always just friends. She had her daughter at 23 with her 25-year-old husband. When my daughter was born, about 3 months technically, both her mother and father were killed. I won't go into much detail for privacy reasons, but it was workplace shooting. My friend and her husband had worked in the same building and were both killed.
Wow.
Both my friend and her husband had grown up in less than ideal families and didn't have any siblings, so there wasn't any next of kin for her daughter to go to. However, because I was close to them, I was able to adopt her. Even though I had been iffy about the idea of kids, I didn't want their daughter to grow up in foster care or around people who didn't have a connection to her biological parents, so I stepped in. My parents and siblings know that my daughter is not my actual daughter biologically speaking. My daughter, I'll call Lily for the post, also knows that she's adopted. I never hid the fact that she was adopted. She knows her parents are dead and were killed by a bad man, but I'm saving the details for when she's older. Lily doesn't look like me at all. She looks exactly like her mother and biological dad. Most people assume that I'm her biological dad and that she just took after her mom. I don't ever really correct this when and if people assume this because it just seems unnecessary. My brother has been with his fiance for 2 years now. A few weeks ago, we were all meeting up at my parents' house, and my sister-in-law saw an old picture of me, my friend, and her husband. She pointed to my friend and asked who she was. I explained that was Lily's mother. Sister-in-law got quiet and stood in front of the picture for a while. I didn't think much of it. To clarify, she knows my friend died, but I guess she didn't know she had been married or that Lily is not my biological daughter. I suppose she assumed my daughter was mine and my friend's biological daughter. My sister-in-law got a DNA test done on my daughter behind my back. She used my brother's DNA for the test, and when it came back that they weren't related, she knew that meant me and Lily weren't related. She came up to me with the results and waved them in my face, saying that I was taking care of a dead woman's affair baby.
Oh my
She
God.
said this to me in front of my daughter. I just stared at her a while before bursting out laughing at this. I told her I knew Lily wasn't my biological daughter and that there's a thing called adoption exists. Her face went red and she stormed off. My brother is mad I embarrassed his fiance, but I said she embarrassed herself by DNA testing a kid that isn't hers and then parading the results up to me. What did she want me to do? What was her goal with this? Did she want me to break down and abandon my daughter? My brother said she thought she was doing the right thing and called me an asshole. I don't feel like the asshole, especially considering my sister-in-law was the only one who stuck her nose where it doesn't belong. I'm asking for Reddit opinions, mostly just for validation. So was I the asshole?
No.
I don't understand some of these. Like I don't think I really understand why that's the most popular. I think it's just because it's so ridiculous, so people are just exasperated. So our friends have a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just go. Bob, Nikki have a kid. They pass away. We adopt Aria. Mm-hmm. Aria looks like Nikki. And then if I had a brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, so I'm making this complicated now, but like, yeah, my sister-in-law then is like, that kid doesn't look like you at all. That kid looks like Nikki. And I see a picture of you, Bob, and Nikki. So she goes and gets a DNA test and is like, see, this isn't yours. You're raising.
The audacity.
I don't understand.
Why?
I'm sure if I read 1,000 of those replies, not a single person would call him the asshole. No. I actually don't even see. Okay, if it was me and my wife did, like if you did that, like, I ran a DNA test and this isn't your baby. You're not related. You're just taking care of and assuming that like they had an affair. I would be like, what are you doing? What? And like, there's no way I would approach my brother and be like, hey man, that wasn't. I would be like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. Like that would like. I wouldn't even know what to say to you. I would be like, that is like, it's so tough.
Psycho.
It's so tough because it's like, you've been wrong before, just as anybody is. But like in the moment, it's like I'm sticking up for you in public, and then when we get in private, I'm like, yo, what, like what's going on? Like, so I do understand like needing to stick up for your spouse, but I feel like there's a line. I feel like there's a line. Like,
and it wasn't even his spouse; it was his sister-in-law. Did he say that there was a woman that he, like a girlfriend or wife that he has, or no?
I don't know.
Yeah. It must not be, because I'm assuming the sister-in-law thought the friend...
I think he assumed that he slept with his friend's wife.
Yeah.
And is raising the daughter after they died. Not assuming that like he had an affair on his wife and is raising a different baby. I think she's assuming he was the affairee.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like he slept with his friend's wife and then they died and then he took the baby as his.
Mm-hmm. And
because she asked like, who are they? And she's like, oh, that's Lily's mom and that's, you know, my best friend. And then she's like, oh, so she assumed it was his biologically. Mm-hmm. So she then went on a investigation to prove he wasn't the dad. And he's like,
and why would you say it in front of the daughter too?
What other reaction would you I guess I like how he was like, I don't know what you're expecting me to say, like, oh no, I didn't know, or oh, like what are you expecting from this?
And it's weird that she didn't know as a sister-in-law. I don't know. It just seems like something that you would know within the family. I
don't really understand how that's the most reacted to of all time, because
there isn't even really like much conversation about it. It's just, you're kind of crazy.
Yeah,
he's definitely not the
sister-in-law.
asshole.
So the brother's wife is crazy.
Yes. And just, I don't know.
I feel like even
Stupid.
you could even ask and it would probably come off as kind of rude, and it would just be like, so you're raising your friend's baby? And then then at some point he's just like, well, I'm not the like biological dad, and she would just go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Because like everyone makes mistakes. But like, again, what are you expecting by proving it and then like waving it in front of him? You cheated. His wife cheated on him with you, and now you're raising the daughter, and then you just go, no, it was their daughter. I'm just raising. I'm not the biological dad. And you would go, oh shit, I'm dumb. My bad. Right? Everyone has an ignorant moment, but like to double down on the ignorant moment and go get a DNA test to like
and then
be
wave
like
it
a
in
gotcha.
his face.
Oh, man.
That's just dumb. It's really cringy.
It is. So, we had a week where we're sick. Last week we didn't record because my back was still bothering me, which went on about 10 days. I think I'm back to like almost okay. So I like to try to combine my time. And I was like 10 days ago, if you guys live in upstate New York or anywhere near here, we got a lot of snow. And I was like, I got to work out later. I'll just shovel instead of snowblow. Great. So I did a lot of shoveling, like a lot. And it's really heavy because the snow plows go by and then it gets like slushy and then it's like really heavy. And I was like, good, I'll just get a workout. So then, that kind of, messes with your lower back a little bit, but I was fine.
Especially when you're old.
True. But like I've hurt my back before, like working out before, and you can tell or when you hurt your back, like just grabbing something out of the fridge.
Liam's lunch bag.
Yeah, you just were bending down and all of a sudden you're like, uh-oh. That didn't happen to me. I was just like, I just did it and it was just like, oh, I could tell like I'm kind of stiff from yesterday from doing that. And then I was trying to do my workouts. With my workouts, I have two 60-pound weights in here. And I do it right here on this hardwood floor, so I can't drop the weights. And I don't have anyone hand them to me. So to get in my position to like bench something, I need to bend down, pick them up, which I can like squat and do, sure. But then I need to sit back, and then I need to lay back, and then do a bunch, and then I need to sit back up, and then lean forward and set them down. And I could just tell my back was like kind of starting to bother me. So I was like, all right, I got to, lift these a little different. And then they just like slowly progressed into, okay, my back's bothering me. And it even started to like shoot down into my legs a bit. So I was like, well, so that was about 10 days ago. And I think I've probably got it back to about like 80%, which means I haven't been able to work out and I haven't been able to do anything. Couldn't record because I couldn't sit really. Went to the doctor.
I wonder if I could hand the weights to you somehow.
You can't even lift one of those.
Fair enough.
With like if you're if you're hurting your back, lifting Liam's lunch box
it was
out of the
a weird
back,
thing that happened.
right? But think about the way you would have to bend down and lift that 160-pound weight and then like hand it to me.
No. Yeah, never mind.
I just need to stretch better and do some more core workouts and just get my core stronger again. It's probably just because I'm sitting a lot when throughout the day and then going right to like working out and whatnot or shoveling or whatever. I just need to.
Yeah. Why did we miss another week though? You said we missed 2 weeks.
We have been bad about it. Like the thing is like we did a bunch of recordings and then like didn't and then did. Now we're back to probably needing to do a bunch of recordings again. So
I think the kids were rough or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was probably some excuse we made. We're just like, not tonight.
Have we talked about how the person in Walmart recognized you?
No.
I don't think we talked about that on the podcast yet.
No, we didn't. We haven't recorded since then. That was last weekend.
I think it was a couple weekends ago. I don't know.
Time just blends together.
Yeah, it does.
You can tell if you want.
Okay. So on Sundays, we usually go to the store. We bring the kids. We get our groceries. We spend way too much money on food because it's way too expensive. The kids pick out a toy, whatever. We get a little outing because, we're just home all the time. Sorry. And we were walking through the meat section, and this guy comes up, and he's like, hey, man, and I thought he worked for you at some point because you worked there for a long time. I didn't recognize him, but I don't know. There's a lot of people that work there. And he goes, are you the guy that streams on Twitch? And I was just like, what? I thought it was the coolest thing. And then you said, yeah. And he said, do you mind if we get a picture? And I wanted to be the creep that was like, taking a picture of you taking a picture together.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was just the coolest thing in the world. I started to get a little teary because I was like, what is this life? And you were just like normal, but I thought it was the coolest thing in the world, and I hope he sees this. And it's even funnier because he doesn't know that you ran the store pretty much.
Oh yeah, I figured he just knew me because like I had ran that store, not like ran the store, but I was like a co-manager there, assistant manager there.
Yeah, you were in the area that he was in at one point, I think. right?
Yeah, I was in.
I
Well,
don't know.
yeah, when I was a co-manager, I mean, I was over like all of the entire that side of the store. But, yeah. So he was just like, "Can I get a picture?" I was like, "Sure." So that was the first time I've been approached, not an event. So like the
Mm-hmm.
only other time was I got approached at the JFK airport
Mm-hmm.
for a picture.
Wasn't
But
there
it,
two airports?
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't remember what the other one was, but it's always surreal. Like the first time we went there. So the first time we went there, and I won the award
Mm-hmm.
for
So
like
I
up
think
and
in
coming.
Atlanta and that one.
Yeah. So I don't remember what I think was the first one in the airport ever or no?
Yes, I think
Yeah.
so.
So
Yeah.
the first time I ever signed anything or anyone noticed me was in the airport. So that was in January of 2023. So I had been creating content for about 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an award within the game that I play. Like they have a Worlds every year. If you guys don't really know what the gaming scene is, Worlds every year is like they rent out an entire stadium, or for the lack of a better term, like an arena,
Mm-hmm. A
and
coliseum.
yeah, and the players usually play in a tournament, and there's usually hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars on the line. And then all the content creators go out, all the people go out, and everything gets shared for what's going on in the new year, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we didn't plan on going to one yet. It just wasn't thinking about it. But then there's an award show at Worlds, and there was so there's like streamer of the year, there's like YouTuber of the year, there's esports player of the year, there's artist of the year, and then there was one called Rising Star, which is like basically up and coming streamer, like somebody new to the scene. And 2022 was my first full year creating content in that game, which is Smite, and I got nominated. And around November they did the votes, and then it came out that I won. So they emailed me and they're like, "Hey, congrats, you won. We want you to come to Worlds." And I was like, "Oh." And they're like, "We'll fly you out. We'll get you a room. We'll get you tickets." And I was like, "Sick. Can my wife go?" And they're like, "Sorry, I was like, "I'll pay for like the airline or the hotel." And they're like, "Well, here's the thing, like we only have one ticket like to get in, and like the hotel room you'd probably be sharing with like another person like who won the award. That way, so we don't have to like double up rooms for everybody. We usually pair somebody with somebody of the same gender and blah blah blah." And I was like, but I was sitting there and I was like, we hadn't taken even a night away from Liam from the moment he was born. So 2018 May, and we're talking January of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So fun fact for everybody, when Liam was born, we had not taken a single night away
Just
from him.
once when we were throwing up all night. My mom took him. That was it.
Yeah, but same house.
Yeah.
It was the same house. She just like sat with him while like we slept separately in rooms, but like we didn't leave him. Like we didn't leave
Yeah.
or whatever. So I was like, I can't like I typed this out and I explained it. I was like, "Listen, like I don't want to be difficult. Like this is very generous that you guys are offering to fly me out and all this different stuff, but like I would feel like a piece of shit to take a trip." And of course you were like, "Yeah, I mean if you're going to go, like don't just skip it." And I was like, "I know, but..." So I explained that. And the girl's name was Teresa. And
she's an angel.
And she calls me like right after. I think I was in the middle of streaming. She calls me and she's like, "Hey, I got your message. Completely understand. I'm a mom. Same thing. Didn't blah blah blah. I'll figure it out. I'll find you a thing. You want to pay for her ticket? I'll make sure you got your own room and I'll get her a ticket. But like, you coordinate with me. Tell me what flight you bought. I'll make sure the flight is bought right after on the same airline or whatever, and you guys can choose your seats. And you'll have your own room so she can stay with you, and we'll get her a ticket." And I was like, "Jesus, okay, thank you."
So nice.
So we fly out there January of 2023. And yeah, so we fly from Syracuse to JFK, and then JFK to Atlanta, and JFK. So we're about to board the plane from JFK to Atlanta, and it's somebody that's going to go to the event as well. And he's like, "Hey, yo, Chris," and I was like, "Yeah," and he was just like, "Hey, can I get a picture?" And I was like, "Sure." And that was the first time I ever signed a picture because we talk about this all the time, how like it's a surreal thing that people just find what we do important, like just playing games and just chatting with people. And when you see, like, I average a couple, like there's like probably 1,000 different people that come through my stream a day, but I average around 100 or 200 viewers at any given point, like concurrent viewers. Like I'll see the number, it's like there's like 120 people in here, 250 people in here, but throughout the day 1,000 or so come through. But then you start to think about over like a week, you know, maybe 10,000 people come through, so you don't really think about how many people like actually know me. And then you also think there's people that just know me but that just don't like actively watch all the time. So I started to get an idea of like how many people like knew me, which was a very odd feeling.
Yeah.
By like, so we get at the event, and by the time I've signed like the 80th thing and taken like the 100th picture, and I'm just like, Jesus.
It's really
very
cool.
It's very weird because it gives a feeling of like importance that it doesn't make me uncomfortable, but it makes me confused. I'm just like, I don't like, we just play games and hang out and do whatever.
Why
and, like,
me? I'm nobody.
Imposter syndrome, I guess. It's not really, though. I don't think I really feel the imposter syndrome because like I know, like, logically I know a lot of people check out the content. Like even in the past year of this year, we've gotten 7.7 million views on my Smite clips. So I mean, like, yeah, of course people are going to know me and whatnot, but it's always a weird feeling to sign a bunch of stuff or to be standing with the pros that, like, you know, maybe like I've watched for years before I even started creating content, and people are coming up asking for both our pictures and both our stuff, and I'm like, this is just weird.
It's really cool.
But this was the first time we actually got noticed outside of like an event. But this is what I always tell people, because people are always like, it's just going to be weird if I come say hey to you and stuff like that. I'm like, I promise you it's not. Like it like,
No, I'm gonna think it's the coolest thing in the world.
they think they're gonna be weird, and I'm like, in order for it to be weird, both of us have to be weird, and it's not weird for me. Like even like with the guy in there, I'm like, sure, and then it's just like I don't make it a big deal. It's just like, yeah.
I didn't actually take a picture of you guys taking a picture. I wanted to.
Hiding behind the camera, like. But no, it's nice. It's cool.
Yep.
I'm hoping the podcast does well. The long form is kind of tough. Somebody asked today, they were like, you got 80, 90 now, 1,000 views on an Instagram short. Like, has that translated to any viewership on like the long form stuff? And I was like, nope.
I wish.
So I went through and Googled or looked at, you know, analytics on Instagram, and that is considered a viral video pretty much to get 90,000
really
to 100,000
cool.
views. But that's the tough part about content creation, and it's the part that I was talking today about, like, luck. I was like, a lot of people think like you just go viral and you're chilling. I was like, I've had dozens of videos go viral, and I'm still a relatively small creator for all things considered, right? I've had long form views of like the Walking Dead React content get like 250,000 views. I've had some of my gaming stuff, like I said, just 7 million this year, and still, to any regular person that's like doesn't watch that stuff, still just relatively unknown. It's just getting people to, especially what's really hard is people think about like when we're making these like podcast videos, we're not just competing against other people making podcasts. We're competing against anybody that has anything else to do in their day for an hour. Like we're competing against Netflix. We're competing against kids playing Fortnite. We're competing against anything that would otherwise have taken that hour of time.
Yeah.
Why are they going to sit here and watch us for an hour? So short form.
So thank you to everybody that decides to take an hour of their time and listen to us yap.
Short form can take off, but it doesn't necessarily mean that people are going to come watch the full hour. So I think we'll have a good idea after, like I've said from the beginning, I think we'll have a good idea. That'll be 250-ish uploads to Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube for shorts, and 52 full episodes. So I think by then we'll know, have a good idea on what's working and what's not, and then decide if we want to do it next year. But every time I always circle back to, like I was talking about today, is it's just like, if my parents had something like this, it would have been so cool.
Yeah.
like to just look back on. They're just talking about raising us, talking about what they did when we were like 6 and 4 and telling us their story. And it's just like, it's basically a catalog of our life.
It's going to be cool for me too, because I can't remember shit. So
yeah. So
it'll
if
be
we
nice.
get to like a notebook situation and like one of us gets dementia, we can be like, look, this is us.
No,
No,
that's
but
awful.
that is,
But
yeah.
it'd be
But
cool. Yeah,
we
I
would
guess.
have something. And then by then, like, I feel like as long as we just make it to like 50, like AI keeps pumping out this like new technology and blah blah blah. Like might just live forever. We might do this podcast forever. Who knows? As long like we need to pass
Year
the threshold.
3000.
Yeah, there's a threshold of, and this is an actual thing. At some point, it's a theory, but like mathematically it makes sense. At some point, you know how like the average age of living like 50 years ago was
Really low.
lower, and then 50 years before that was really lower, and 50 years before that was really lower. There's a theory, and it's not going to stop all cause mortality, but there's a theory at some point with the exponential growth of science, medicine, technology, especially with AI accelerating that at some point advancements will be found to keep us alive longer, faster than we're aging. So if we get to a point where technology and science has advanced to give us another year faster than 1 year, then you technically have gotten to a what's the word? There's a specific scientific term for it. I don't remember what it's called. Event horizon, maybe? No.
Interesting.
So there's a certain point where it's like, if technology is figuring out how to make humans live till 78 instead of 77 on average, and it does that within 1 year or even faster, then next year it figures out a couple years, and then the next year it figures out 5 years. You can see how it just keeps extending
so we would just keep
longer.
living.
Yeah.
We would just look really old. And all the younger
It depends.
people would stay
It depends
looking
because
younger.
It depends, because the whole process of getting older is because your cells damage and break down. If they reverse the process of your cells damaging and breaking down, or find ways to revitalize them or whatever, you would just technically age much slower. So it's kind of why right now, with different technology and different, nutrition and blah, blah, blah. I know we have bad nutrition in the US right now, but if you ever look at like what people looked at like 50 years ago when they were 30 compared to what 50 years ago looks like now, they like still look pretty young.
Yeah.
And it's not because cosmetic, and sure there's sometimes, but like people just look younger longer.
I feel like a lot of people are starting to look better as they get older than they did when they were younger too.
Yeah, it's almost like it's like the average age, like if you take every 100 years, the average life expectancy keeps going up. Maybe we can just make it to that time, and then we'll be chilling. Because then there's always the question is like, do you want to?
There's movement.
Our kids are sick, so this is a risky venture today. The question is, if you could live forever, would you?
Liam sat up, and then I think he's laying back down. I feel like I'd want to.
Is this live?
Yeah. I think I'd want to live forever.
So,
as long as everybody else that I loved was living forever.
That's the issue. So
like if we lost one of the kids.
This is what I said
I don't know.
the other day. Is somebody asked me that question. They said, would you live forever? It just kind of sounds awful because, the whole point of things being beautiful in life, and it's part that I accept. So to be fair, like if there's anything I'm afraid of aside from losing my family and being alive to see myself lose my family, it's probably dying.
Mm-hmm. I'm terrified of dying.
I don't like the idea of not being here. But that's me right now. If we've made it through a whole life, we're both old, our kids have grown up, they have their own families, they don't need us. Like, I'm more like worried about it right now. If we're both like 87 and we're just like, I probably won't mind as much. But when they asked me, I was like, if my family could as well, yes. If my family and maybe even friends couldn't, no.
Yeah.
No, like if you wanted me to live forever without, like, if it was just like, oh, like one of you can, I'm okay.
No.
I'm good. No.
Together or nothing.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it would lessen my ability to appreciate life with it being longer.
No, you could do so many things. You can go so many places.
Yeah, like I understand like the whole thing that makes life beautiful is the fact that it's not forever. So every moment means more. But I'll give you an example. Like if we could choose to rerun the same day forever, or not maybe the same day, but like the same year or whatever over and over and over, I would do 2025 over and over and over and over and over for eternity. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't bother me at all.
Yeah. Like, Caroline is kind of annoying sometimes.
Yeah, maybe
but I
like
would do it.
2029. Well, either way, it'll bring you back to the movie like Click, where it's like the things that you think you want to skip or should skip is really the moments that you shouldn't skip.
Yeah.
But
agreed. Yeah, even though she can be annoying, I would still want to do it if we're good.
mm-hmm.
I know I'll look back and miss even the annoying times. Like she was having me hold her little baby because she is obsessed with taking care of babies, and I got her some baby doll diapers today because she likes to pretend to change them. And as soon as you put the diaper on, she goes, "What that smell?" And then she got to change it, and she's like, "Here, you go to the mommy." And I'm holding the baby. I'm like, "Oh, I miss holding Caroline when she was a baby." Even when, because she said the baby was sick. I was like, even when she was sick, and we would just go downstairs and I'd rock her in the rocker for hours, literally till like 5 a.m. watching Netflix because she wouldn't go back to sleep. And it was awful then. But now I'm like, oh, I could go back and just hold her and cuddle with a baby. But,
yeah.
You know. In the moment I felt like I was going to die, but now you forget. You forget how much it sucked, and you just remember little baby.
Yeah. Like, she just has so many cute moments over the past year.
Mm-hmm. She's grown so much.
The one thing that always shocked me about having kids was I always thought that, especially because gender and everything is such a big topic nowadays. So I was always like, oh, so it's like they teach us what we're supposed to like. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought. I was like, they teach us what we're supposed to like. They teach boys how to act, and that like culture indoctrinates them into boys thinking that's how they should act. Fun fact. We have not pushed our kids to like or enjoy or not like or dislike or like anything. I thought it was maybe just commercials, or it was something that told them like girls are going to like pink and they're going to like dolls and they're going to like teacups and they're going to like to take care of stuff, and girls are going to like to sit there and be pretty and do this, and boys are going to like monster trucks and be destructive. We did not push any type of toy onto our kids. We did not push any, like, they didn't watch commercials like that had that stuff because they didn't watch like TV really. You know, like they'd watch videos and whatnot, but like they didn't, you know, they weren't around other kids like all too often to influence them, right? Like early on, they are just so different. And we talked to like some preschool teachers, because I always find the psychology of this really interesting. I was like, so boys just like this just by like, because it's always interesting me the like instincts that are like already pre-programmed into our brains.
Yeah, she wants to be a mommy.
Yes, she wants to watch what you do. She wants to pretend to do her eye stuff, and Liam never did that. But yeah, it was the same upbringing, the same.
Mm-hmm. Like he'd watch me put my makeup on, but Caroline is like, "Ooh, gimme."
Yeah, she pretends to do it. She like, we talked to the preschool teachers. She's like, the girls want to go over, sit there, and they want to sit and do crafts, and the boys want to go over to like the dirt table and smash stuff. Liam's over there like doing front flips off the couch into the toys and stuff. And
don't get me wrong, Caroline still likes to do that.
Yes, yeah. Like we try, we get them to do. Yeah, we influence them to do things together and whatnot to broaden their horizons. But it was just so like, it was so interesting to me to just see how different they are. Yeah. Because I was like, we'll let them figure it out. We won't say, hey, like Caroline, you have to like toys, and like if Liam wanted a baby doll, whatever, buddy.
Yeah, he does like doll. Babies.
but he, if we go somewhere, he wants a train, a truck, a car, a plane, like he wants something like that, and she wants a doll or a teacup or or a stuffed animal. Yep. And it's just weird. I always thought like maybe it was just commercials or marketing that told them what they like, because that just seems like what it would. But
nope.
Nope. And now, don't get me wrong. She'll play with monster trucks and still want to do that too.
She's a tough little girl too.
But it just is crazy how different they are without any implied or attempted intervention on our part.
Yeah, because we'll just go off of what they like. Like, you like trains? Okay, we're gonna go all the train shows. We're gonna do all the things.
Yep.
We're gonna support that. Caroline, you like, I don't know, whatever you're into this week. We'll get you a little Peppa Pig house. We'll play with all the little
Bluey
little things. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy how, like, I'd always seen it with dogs. You'd raise a dog the exact same. You'd have the same breed, but they would just develop such different personalities, and it just really makes me wonder, like, how that works. Like, there's little pathways in their brain when they're developing that teach them basically how to act the rest of their life. And it just gets connected differently, and they like different things. They react to different things, yet they were brought up the exact same way in the same environment. It's crazy. Psychology is so interesting.
It really is. And it was interesting to see, I don't know, I just like to think that our kids are good humans and they're going to be good humans. And I don't mean to judge other kids or other parenting, but there was just so many
bad kids. Yeah, that's what they are. It's fine.
And just mean and literally spitting in Liam's face. And just kids okay, kids are crazy and they're rambunctious or whatever. I get it. But when you're just barreling over Caroline for the third time, I'm going to get mad. And like, they're in the same environment, and there was a little baby in one of the bounce houses. I'm like, okay, careful with the baby. And Caroline just like stopping everything. She's like, careful with the baby. And the other kids, they don't give a shit.
I don't know. I even said, like, as a kid, I was a boy. I was jumping off trees into trampolines and doing dirt bike jump. Like, I was a wild kid. But if there was like a small kid near me, like, yeah, I would be like, hey, yo, guys, careful. Like, I don't understand.
Because I see our friends' kids, like our friends' kids that are older, are so good about it. And they're like, guys, wait, let her go.
Yeah.
And they're just so sweet, and they pay attention. So I know it's not impossible.
It's because the other parents aren't paying attention. It's okay. Yeah. Like, it's just, you're not paying attention. You're dropping your kid off there, and then you're drinking at the bar. Right? Fine, cool, I get it. Like, I'm glad you're bringing your kid to do something.
Yeah.
But, like, reel them in. Or set some boundaries for them. Like, hey, yo, don't knock that girl over. Yeah. I feel like it's the little things. It's like the small things. Like, every single time we have an interaction with the kids, I'm like, what is this teaching them? So sometimes when we're trying to figure out, like, how do we discipline Caroline here? Like, what is this? What is this teaching her? Like to go through like a scenario with parenting with y'all. So obviously we have a daughter who's 4. She does something she's not supposed to do. She's hitting Liam, or she's taking something from him, or she's throwing something she shouldn't throw, or she's hitting the TV. Like, she's doing something just to clearly test a boundary, get a reaction. So it's like, all right, we're gonna go bring her in timeout. Like, right, we're not tolerating. Nope, bring her over in here in timeout. So, like, let's say we come to sit her on this couch, tries to get up, we sit her back down. So she tries to hit. We do not hit our kids. It doesn't work. You can look at any psychology study. Sorry, people might get upset about this, but, like, it doesn't work, right?
You're gonna teach them not to hit by hitting them. Like, what? I don't get
it. It's so what some people will say is, like, I got hit. Right. And like, I turned out just fine. I turned out fine. And it's true that, like, yeah, sure. Like, you did. And I'm not saying every time somebody's been spanked that you're beating your child. That's not the point we're making. What I'm saying is you were disciplined. That's at least good. You were disciplined. There was a you did this wrong. The consequence was this. What I'm saying is the consequence doesn't need to be that, because the second that you spank your kid, you've put them into fight or flight mode, and the part of their brain that learns is shut off during the moment. So the teachable moment that you're trying to create isn't possible, which is why you often see kids get spanked a lot, because they don't learn. They do something impulsively, and then they're like, uh-oh, and now they're scared, and now they don't want to tell you the truth, and then it just leads to a whole mess of other issues, which is why you think about, but it's like things I think about. What are we supposed to do? So she hit me. I have options. Do I spank her? What is that going to teach her? It's probably just going to
It's
teach her
just
to be
gonna
scared.
she's just gonna hit you back. It's just gonna be a never ending thing. Honestly,
No,
it'll make people
if I
mad.
spanked her, she would not hit me back.
Yeah.
She would be scared,
Yeah,
and
she would
she would
cry
go to
and
you.
yeah, she'd be scared.
So
I think a lot of it when people hit, like they just don't know how to control their anger. Like they're just so
there
mad.
are some
that
there are
they
some that
just
are
do
taking out their frustration. Sure, there are some that think it's inappropriate.
Which I can get. Like I get so angry that I'm like, oh my god, I could hit a wall.
Mhm.
I could hit this. I'm not gonna hit my kid.
No, there are some right. There are some who can't control their frustration, which is always ironic because you're expecting the toddler to control themselves in their frustration, even though it doesn't make sense, even though it's really not an important thing they're frustrated about, but to them it is. You're expecting them to be able to control it, but then you can't control your own frustrations, and you take out that frustration on the kid, and it leads to a never-ending cycle of.
Yeah.
But I will say, the difference is not the action of being spanked. The difference is you still disciplined the child, which is why sometimes, yes, you did end up fine because
Yeah.
you were disciplined, and
Yeah.
discipline is good. I'm just saying that a method of discipline isn't conducive to teach lessons.
Mm-hmm.
So bring her over here. She tries to hit. So what have I started to do? And it's been reasonably effective is I just hold both of her wrists with my hand reasonably gently, but firm enough to where like you can't hit. Then she gets upset. Then she tries to kick.
I stuck.
So I take a pillow and I just put it on her legs. And then she complains that she's stuck. And I said, well, then don't hit. And then she says, sorry, Daddy. And I say, that's okay. And then I say, go apologize to Liam. Then she gets up and goes apologizes to Liam. And then she might go right back to doing it again. And then I will bring her back over here.
Sorry.
Yep. And then I will bring her back over here. We will do it again. And then she's gradually gone away from hitting.
Yeah,
She
it's not as much. It's more random now. It used to be all the time, but now it's.
Well, it's because she gets in a loop of escalation. Like she has to keep escalating, and then the whole part of a parent is like you can't also escalate. Like you have to scale it back.
Hard.
Yep. So it's like sometimes when she's thrashing about over here, I just look away and I don't say anything, and she'll just yell.
Because a lot of times she does just want a reaction.
Yeah, she's literally just looking at me, waiting, and I'm just standing there. And then at some point, she'll just go.
She'll
I'm
even
sorry.
do a little sneaky smile sometimes.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like you get frustrated because like you want her to understand that like you're being serious, but she's laughing as she's running away with you while she's trying to be disciplined.
She sure is.
Yep. So I don't laugh too. I don't say anything. I just go nope, and we just walk back over here, and I just make it really boring. It's not fun. You don't get a good reaction. I'm not mad. Sure, laugh if you want to, but we're just going to sit here until you're either done laughing or done being mad, until you apologize and stop doing what you're doing. The whole point is I think we've talked about this before, but it was like kind and firm is the best effective method for teaching long-term behavior.
Yeah. Oh, I see so many people shitting on gentle parenting now.
It's because the term is overused,
Yeah.
because there is a lot of parents who use the excuse of gentle parenting as a lack of parenting or lack of. So it's like there's like one end of the spectrum where it's like gentle parenting where you take like the extreme where it's just like, oh well, he is mad, we got to let him express his feelings. It's like, well, yes, but in an appropriate manner, right? Not screaming and hitting and not swearing, right? Not doing like there is still boundaries to be set. The difference just is you don't. Gentle parenting is not an excuse for a lack of consequences and boundaries for your children.
Because there'll be people commenting on things that they do, and they're just like, we're kind, but we're firm, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that is gentle parenting.
Yes. Yeah, it is. That people run away with the term. Gentle parenting is literally just, like, you can think back to like, oh, I broke this like accidentally, and now they're afraid of their dad because their dad's going to beat him with a belt or some shit, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, we got gentle parenting now. And I'll even see like stuff on Facebook where it's just like some dad finds out. There was one actually recently, it was either on Twitter or one of the social medias where it was just like dad finds out daughter is hanging out with friends he told him not to hang out with, and he takes off his belt and literally like in public is like beating like his like 9-year-old daughter, and people are like, this is what the world needs again. And it's like,
why? What is wrong with you? How can you see that happen and be like, this is what we need?
Because they assume the poor behavior of the next generation below them is a failure of them, and they just like you said before, they just take out their frustrations on it. It doesn't teach them anything. It just teaches you to hide it from.
Well, all the people of that generation are in fight or flight mode 24/7.
Yep.
From their childhood trauma.
Yep.
So they're breaking the cycle, and gentle parenting, but not. I hate it.
I was spanked. It's a perfect example. I was
Yeah.
spanked. I ended up fine. My
Yeah.
dad did not beat me. I got spanked when I was bad, but overall, like looking back, it didn't correct any of the behavior. I would do something, and I would get in trouble at school, and then I would go, "Oh no." I didn't think about it in the moment. I didn't go, "Oh, I shouldn't do this," or "I'm going to get hit." Right? I didn't
Yeah.
think about it. I just was doing things. I was a kid who I was very active. I was always playing all the sports. I was always after school with my dad, like playing something. We were going hiking, like we were doing something all the time. We get into school, and I have to like sit there for 8 hours, and I would just get in trouble a lot for just moving around, making noise. Like I would get in trouble.
Yeah.
And they wanted to at some point medicate me for something, and my mom was like, he has no problem concentrating, he has no problem at home, he has no problem, you're making him sit there for like 8 hours.
Yeah.
And then the punishment that you give is you take away recess.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
So like, but then I would get, that's
Don't
what
get
would
me
happen
started
sometimes
on that.
I know that's what would happen sometimes if I got in trouble, is I would get spanked. And I have a pretty decent memory. I never remember a moment where I was like, oh no, I shouldn't do this, and then do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like no kid wants to get spanked. I just didn't think about it in the moment until after, and all it made me was either afraid of my dad or mad at my dad for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it was. Like we went to Hershey Park and to visit, because that's where he was doing construction. And Hershey Park is like a big amusement park, and I was too short to go. I was a short kid for like a long time until like high school. But I was a good 9-10 years old, but I was too short to ride any of the actual rides,
Sucks.
which means I had to ride like the baby rides. So as you could probably expect, I don't remember exactly what I did, but I was probably a brat the entire time,
Yeah.
because they're
That's
all
such a
getting to
bummer.
ride. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, like, yeah, they would just bring like my sister, and like one would stay with me, and like, oh, I could go ride like a little bus that goes up and down. And I was like, I'm
Yeah,
not.
like I want to go on the roller coasters.
Yeah, like I was just a short kid, so it's like, so I'm sure I was a brat. And then like I remember like so perfect example. I remember this 30 something years later. I was probably 7 or 8, I think at the time, so like 7 maybe. And I wasn't 9. I was probably 6 or 7. And I had gone to my friend's house, and we watched We're Back, and I really liked that movie. It was
loved
the
that movie.
dinosaurs. And then I asked him to borrow it, because I was like, when I go to my dad's this weekend, we can watch it together. And then I got here, and it was 2 weeks after, because since my parents were divorced, I would go to his house every other weekend. So we went to the Hershey Park place, and then the next weekend was my mom weekend, and I went to my friend's house, and I saw that movie, and I was like, oh, this is a great movie. And then when we went to my dad's, we would always go to the movie theater, or we would go down here to this place that had VHS tapes, World. And I was like, can I borrow this movie from my friend? He's like, sure. It's like, great, I can watch it with my dad this weekend. But then once I got here, he was just like, nope, we're not watching any movies. And I was like, okay. And then that night we had to like sit out there right in that room and get spanked for being bad at Hershey Park 2 weeks ago. And I didn't remember.
That literally makes no sense.
I didn't remember a moment where I was like, oh, I should be better next. I was just like, oh, he doesn't want to watch this movie with me. Like it didn't teach me anything.
Just the excitement of like, oh, I just want to watch this movie, and then
Not even watch the movie. I wanted to watch this with my dad.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I didn't think in that moment, oh, I need to be better next time. Nothing. Like I didn't learn anything. I was just disappointed that like, oh, my dad doesn't want to like do this with me, and we just have to do this now.
Yeah.
And
It
it was
breaks
like,
my heart.
think about what you did and all that stuff, and it's just like, okay. But it didn't teach me anything. I still got in trouble like probably like 3 months later. It didn't teach me anything. It didn't teach me to be a better kid. It didn't teach me to do anything like that. But again, though, there was a consequence for my actions. So that did turn me into a good person and good kid. And I did reflect and did do those things. But what I'm saying is the spanking itself didn't do anything.
Yeah.
It didn't prevent me from making impulsive decisions next time. All it did was make me do those things and then go, oh, damn. And then by that point, it was too late because I didn't lie either. Because I was like, yeah, I did it, whatever. So it's like you can't have like you can't go from this spectrum to this spectrum. You can't go from hitting your kid with a belt because he defied you or something like that to just letting your kid do whatever he wants to where he's like one of those kids in Walmart that's like hitting their mom while they're walking through the store and slapping her, and the mom's just like, yeah, you do need boundaries and you do need consequences, and those consequences do have to have action and they need to be consistent. But they did this one study where it was like kind and firm was the most effective, and it was kind and firm. Oh, I wish I could remember the verbiage because it was very good. You explain real quick because I'm going to see if I can find it. You explain real quick the stuff you were talking about with the kind and firm and gentle parenting that you saw.
Oh, it was just a lot of comments saying, well, shitting on the gentle parenting, sometimes it would be people that I know, which it kind of hurt my heart a little bit because, like, I consider our parenting gentle parenting, but we have boundaries. They get punished. They're disciplined, and they're good kids. And I would just see examples of what they would be doing. They redo this, and it's not gentle parenting, but it was. So it just doesn't make sense to me. And I hate how it has a stigma around it that if you gentle parent, you're just a pushover and your kids are little brats.
Yeah, I saw one that was like, this is gentle parenting, and it was just a kid that like spilled milk on the floor with a cup, and instead of yelling at the kid, they were just like, okay, next time, like, maybe you don't try and pour the whole gallon. Maybe we ask for help and we can help you because it's very heavy, right? And it's just like the idea that just not scolding your child for accidentally spilling milk on the table is gentle parenting.
I've seen a lot of people, like TikToks and stuff, saying that they're teaching their kid that spilling something isn't a big deal, or spilling something isn't like a catastrophe, something like that. I can't remember the use of the word.
It's just like, oh, whoops.
Yeah.
Let's clean it up.
Yeah. And even as an adult, I'm like, oh my God, like this is the most annoying thing ever. And I'm like, no, that's actually a really good skill. Now, if they're
pouring it out on purpose or doing stuff like that, sure, you're going to need to have an accountability conversation. If they're making messes on purpose that require cleanup, sure.
Liam had this time. Oopsie, it's okay.
Liam had this time for a while where he just really liked to pour out drinks. Really like to pour out drinks. Fun story. Really like to
I forgot about that. And he did it at preschool all over like the printer and stuff, I think.
So over here on this, you guys have, well, podcast people haven't seen this, but on this desk there is my laptop, there's all my computer stuff, and I had a drink over there that I hadn't finished. I was out there with Caroline, she was sleeping on me. You were out doing something that day. I don't remember what it was, but you were not here for a long period of time. Yeah, I think I remember now, yeah. And apparently, he had walked out here and poured that drink all over the desk, which has a lot of expensive stuff on it. Luckily, nothing was ruined, but there's a computer there. There's like my $5,000 PC there. There's the laptop there. And I walk out there, and it's just the entire desk is just filled with one of my drinks that I hadn't finished yet.
I forgot that he went through this stage.
Liam? And he came out there, and I was like, did you pour this drink all over this table? And he was like, Daddy's mad. And I was like, yes. And I think it was probably the first time that he'd actually ever seen me, not just like, hey, nope, you're in trouble. This is the first time he actually saw me like, yeah. So he would have been 4
probably
ish. And I was like, yeah. So I brought him out to that room. First I cleaned it up, and he just kept saying, Daddy's mad. And I just kept saying, yes, I am. And then I brought him out there, and he had made a mess earlier, which I wasn't really too big of a deal about. It is what it is. But he had taken that Trivial Pursuit game, which has like maybe 1,000 cards, and he was just playing with the cards all over the floor. So I was like, you are going to pick up every single one of these cards and toys off the floor until you because it was like winter time. So I was like, until like no TV, no toys, no playing. We're not playing. You're picking up every single one of these cards. And he spent about a good 2 full hours picking up cards and putting them away and putting all the toys away.
Yeah, I remember coming home, and I'm like, wow, it's clean.
And he never poured out one of my drinks again. So, perfect example. Could I have gotten frustrated that he almost just ruined thousands of dollars worth of stuff? Sure. Could I have spanked him? Sure. Would that have been a discipline that would have likely, kind of taught him a lesson? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But did I need to spank him? Did I need to? No. I needed to make him do something he didn't want to do, and I needed to make sure that he understood there was a consequence for the bad thing he did, and that he understood that it was wrong. And I make him apologize, and then I made him do something for 2 hours that he didn't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So right, I did not need to.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is when we talked about it a couple episodes ago, where it's your kids are going to learn by what they see.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't control my frustration and anger as a man, and I'm trying to teach a young boy how to respond, because obviously when I get frustrated and angry, just based on hormones and based on the way we're built, I experience different levels of frustration and anger than you experience. Obviously, just what testosterone does, right? If I'm going to teach a little boy how to respond to frustration and anger, and I lash out at him, I feel like I'm setting him up for failure.
Mm-hmm. I need to work on responding and not reacting, because I feel like we're talking about all these things and how we do things well, and we're not perfect parents. When we don't have it all figured out, myself more so than you, but
well, why don't you deal with it more, and I'm also good with stressful situations. Stress doesn't really change my reaction to things.
Yeah.
So it's but that's the whole point of a partnership.
Mm-hmm.
Just when they need comfort, sometimes they don't want me.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the other night when Caroline's throwing a temper tantrum, she's gonna wake Liam up. Liam is sick, and she's screaming and wants to play with Liam or whatever.
Yeah, I want to go see Liam. She wanted to climb in bed with him.
This makes me sad. Right. So I go in there. We don't spank our kids. We've already established this. But I just walk in there, and I'm like, stop.
Yeah, you could tell you were mad.
I'm sorry. And she immediately is saying, I'm sorry, scared.
Mm-hmm.
And that sucks. But...
So I couldn't imagine actually hurting them or doing anything in their reaction. It would break me. I would never... Mm-mm.
Right,
nope.
So it's walk in there, and it's just stop. Or you'll go stand in the hall. Right, and even the one time that it happened before, where I took her out there, and it's just we're removing her from the situation, and I remember bringing her out there, and she did the same thing, I'm sorry, and I just held her, and I was like, it's okay, you just can't do these things, and then she calmed down, and I actually think she went back and did the same thing, and we had to do it again, but sometimes it takes once or twice,
yeah,
but it's just. I really wish I could remember the words. I did look it up, couldn't find it, but it's they did a psychology study, and it was kind and firm is for sure the best method.
Mm-hmm.
You are kind, but it is you're not doing this. This is what you did. This is the consequence. This is what's going to happen because of it, and I'm going to be kind to you during it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Even if you're frustrating, even if you're making me angry, I'm going to be kind because I'm going to...
It's bugging me because I know I've seen it. I can picture...
Well, there's 4 different things.
The thing.
It's kind, firm... And then there's the other 2 opposites of it. So it's you can be kind and not firm, but the opposite of firm. So you could be kind and complacent or something like that. That doesn't lead to good things. That's kind of a lack of parenting, a lack of boundaries. And then kind doesn't have to go to mean, but it's just strict and firm doesn't work either. But there's some words for it. But either way, so they did a study, bunch of different parenting methods, bunch of different outcomes, surveyed the kids, surveyed the parents, and it was kind and firm always unanimously led to the best set of things. It always led to the best set of I don't know why this is not.
Oh no.
Well, that's not good.
Oh, sorry about that. Doing?
Well, we probably know why it was not switching earlier.
Was it not plugged in all the way?
Nope.
Oh boy.
Hopefully this episode isn't wasted, because then we'll have to. We'll
be back
to. Yeah. So anyway, that'll be That'll be something.
Sure will.
Good thing I looked over there. I mean, when I did the test recording, it looked fine, but anyway.
I think I found it says the firm style authoritarian, the kind style permissive,
Oh, permissive.
and the kind and firm style authoritative.
So it was kind and firm was always the best, and then
the balanced
permissive
approach.
and kind was not good. So
It's-
permissive and kind is like I'm giving in to you,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. So kind and firm was always the best. Below that was like equally as bad was firm and authoritative or whatever.
Yeah, it says it prioritizes rules and order over the relationship. The kind style prioritizes the child's happiness and relationship over boundaries. And the kind and firm style, this is a balanced approach, often called positive discipline or democratic parenting.
It's more just like you do good things, you get whatever you want.
Yeah.
You're spoiled when you're acting the right way.
Mm-hmm.
The second that you deviate from the expected behavior that we set for you, you don't get those good things anymore.
Yeah.
I don't need to then extend into more punishments because it's like, oh, the good things that we are going to do, you just don't get. And then you have to be firm on that. Like you can't like go back on it. You can't say, well, that was like one time I was like, I don't remember what you had said.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, we're not going to do this week. And I was like, try not and
we
threaten
would anyway.
something that like we won't go through with because
Yeah.
we are still going to do that.
Yeah.
So it's more just like, like as an example, like don't
stupid things that you say. If you don't do this,
yeah.
then like Curious George is going to die or something like that.
Yeah.
All these
I
extreme
saw those TikToks lately, yeah.
They're great.
But it's like, don't say like, hey, if you do this again, you're not watching TV all day, and then you let them watch TV an hour later, like they're going to start to learn like,
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, I really hope that this episode isn't,
I hope so.
because I was talking there and I was like, it's not going from camera 4 back to camera 1, but and it's also not picking up my voice at all. Then sure enough, the cord fell out. So,
one of my favorite
We'll
ones
see.
was if you're good, like no one's wearing shoes ever again.
if you don't put on your shoes, then I'm getting rid of all your shoes and you'll never wear shoes again. And it's like,
Those are my favorite.
it's always this weird thing where it's like, you don't want to lie to your kids, but like you like accidentally do. It's like you don't want it like, hey, if you do this, we're not going to do this, but then like you probably know you're going to.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, you have to be strategic with your in the moment discipline.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a reason that our kids are aware of other kids and aren't pushing other kids. I could not imagine one of our kids spitting in another kid's face.
Nope.
I don't even understand how their kid is still there.
They didn't
Like
see it.
What?
They didn't see it.
I couldn't imagine.
I found out who they were connected to, and
Mhm.
they was blocking. They couldn't see.
I couldn't imagine the audacity of my child
Nope.
spitting in another child's face.
Nope.
And that, but like that's
They'd be
the
like,
that's
we're
the mo-
leaving now.
that'd be like some of the worst consequences they've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And
what
then
is
he was like punching at a girl later too.
the other kid
Mm-hmm.
pretending to punch at a girl? Yeah.
Yep. Good
I don't know.
times.
It's just like we're not perfect parents. We mess up pretty often, like daily,
Oh, yeah.
and then like have to be like,
Every
okay,
day.
we're like, oh yeah, like as an example, we were talking about like finding new things, effective parenting tools. So it's just like, okay, Caroline has to like stand over here by herself, and then it's like, oh well, she's scared of the dark. It's like, okay, well, let's not put her in like in a dark area. We don't want her to be scared of that, but like she just doesn't want to be separated from us.
Mm-hmm.
So a consequence is like you don't get to be with us right now. You go sit over here alone. So, like I said, it's like we're like we put her out in the hall like, oh, you got to go stand out there. And then she's like, well, she's afraid of the dark. And it's like, that's fair. And this is where kind and firm comes in. Because if we weren't being kind, it would be like, too bad.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that you don't like the dark. stop being bad. Then we could use that as a tool to ensure that she won't do it again next time, but we're being kind. So it's like, okay, you don't have to, that makes sense. You don't want to stand over here near the bathroom where it's dark because you're afraid, not because you don't want the consequence. Okay, we'll turn on the light. You still have to stand over here though, right? So it's like that's just is what it is. We could not be kind in that moment because she's being very frustrating. She's almost waking up her brother, et cetera, et cetera. But we don't need to do that.
I think it's so important when you do make mistakes to apologize to your kids too, even though they're 4 and 7. Like, I was lost my mind one day because it was a solo shopping trip. It was not a good time. And they were being naughty, and Caroline just dumped an entire thing of candy all over. I was like, oh my God, why? Blah, blah, I was yelling. And I get out and I like clean it up a little bit, and I go sit, and Caroline's like, I really, really sorry. And it just broke me. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm a piece of shit. And so a little bit, like 30 seconds later, I've cooled down. And, I was like, Liam, Caroline, Mommy's really, really sorry for yelling and being mad. I was feeling very stressed. And like, it's okay, Mommy. Like, they're just so happy, and they're so, like, they're good.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it makes you feel worse, but also better.
No, I'm
in the
proud
moment.
of them all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you get frustrated by them more, you're dealing with them more, understandable, but I'm proud of them all the time when, not to like compare, but just like what the expected behavior of a 7-year-old boy and a 4-year-old girl is. It's just, it's good.
And I mean, people will come over and see Caroline being a little stinker.
We failed the other day.
Huh.
We were trying to have a conversation about something, and Caroline was just singing really loud, and we didn't scold her, we didn't say anything, but we were like still just trying to continue the conversation, and she was just belting it out even louder, and we were having a serious conversation. It wasn't even an argument, but it was like something, it was a conversation we needed to finish or like not stop and come back to. And yeah, you could tell we were frustrated by like, it's just really loud and we're just trying to finish this thing.
And
so like,
and stared at her.
So she like yelled it even louder, like what she was singing, and we just kind of like looked, didn't say anything mean. We didn't go like, we didn't make mean faces. We just like looked at her for a second, and then she just stopped and was just like, sorry. And then immediately I was just like, damn.
You're like, no, keep singing.
Keep singing. And then she went back to singing. But it's just like those moments, like you need to, like,
you can't dim their light.
Yeah, it's not, it's not gentle parenting in that moment, not to be like, hey, Mommy and Daddy are having a conversation. You need to stop. It's like, all right, she's singing. Like, do we need to teach the kids that sometimes we're talking and they need to wait, and, like, are they very good at being patient and certain things we need to work with them on? Sure. But like in that moment, did we need to, yell at her or anything like that? We didn't, but like, it's another example of where it's like, okay, yeah, no, like maybe we just let her sing. We can have our adult conversation later or whatever. It's just like, you don't need to fight every battle with your kids. Sometimes it's just like, whatever.
You have to choose your battles for sure.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you make everything a battle, then everything will be a battle. Sometimes it's just like, we really want to have this conversation right now, and Caroline's like, I really want to sing. Sometimes just let them sing. Like, all right, go ahead, keep singing. And it's like, oh, we'll try and remember this later, or just wait until she's done, and I'll just like remember where we were at. Like, it's just like,
I need to work on not rushing too. I've seen that a lot lately. Just let them take their time, put their shoes on how they want to put their shoes on. Like, I'm not great with time management, so sometimes we have to rush out the door.
No, well, it's not even that. You just like are so afraid of being late. Like, something's going to happen. Like, the world's going to end. Yeah,
it's going to explode.
Yep.
But yeah, just take your time. Don't make them anxious by rushing them like you rush yourself. Like, I really like this girl on TikTok, Annalie, I think, and she'll say, this isn't an emergency, and then she'll just take a deep breath, and then you're more calm, and like, it's not an emergency that they're not putting their shoes on right away, or you're
pretty much.
I like that. And I mean, I need to be more mindful of that too. We're not perfect, like I said, but something I like though.
I mean, if you can keep trying to point to like, hey, this is stuff we need to work on. it's more the issue if like we were just like, nah, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not actively...
One of the moms at the place was like, it's only hard if you care.
Yep.
You're like, yep. That's right.
It's only hard keeping track of them and correcting their behavior every 2 seconds because they're toddlers. They are going to do something that, like you'll say sometimes, like, why are they so awful today? And I'm just like, they're toddlers. It's what they're designed to do. Talked about it on stream today. I was like, some people get really weird when I say, no, kids are annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Kids in general are annoying.
Yeah.
Our kids
They're
are
annoying.
Part of parenting is teaching them to not be annoying. That's what it is. That's what they're going to do. They're going to break things on purpose. They're going to hit each other or something like that on purpose. They are going to test boundaries on purpose. They are going to press your buttons on but people get weird about it that aren't parents yet. They're like, you're just like saying your kids are annoying. I'm like, yeah, they're purposely annoying. That's what they do. When they're teenagers, they're
their life goal.
Yeah, when they're teachers, they're going to think I'm annoying because I'm going to be annoying purposely. They're for a reason. Like, yeah. It's just like part of parenting is teaching your kids how to act and not be annoying in public. But that's the thing. Our kids are annoying here. They're like rarely annoying in public.
Yeah, it's so insane. There's so many people that will say, "Oh, she's so good. They're so good. You're so lucky." And I just I don't know how to respond to that.
I do. I'm going to make a montage. Like, I'm going to put cameras up in the house and I'm going to make a montage.
You're like, really?
I'm going to make a montage of you losing your mind while you're like, Caroline, no, you have to, and she's running away laughing while you're trying to
boo boo, and then Liam's doing his humming of some song. The TV's going. They've got their DJ thing going with the disco light, and it's doing this annoying song. You're yelling at the game and stream,
Yep.
and the TV's going, and oh god.
So when they're like, "You're so lucky, your kids are never bad," and it's like, our kids are bad all the time. They're just really good in public. Yeah.
Which I'd rather have it this way than the opposite. But
yeah, I mean, they're comfortable enough at home to express their really annoying, boundary button pushing selves. Mm-hmm. And then once they learn, they know how to act in public reasonably for the most part.
But they get to be who they are. Live their best lives.
They're great. Somehow this episode turned into all about parenting, which I guess stayed on a specific thing. What I'm hoping is, oh boy, I feel like I say this every 2 or 3 episodes. If you guys don't see this episode, doesn't matter that I'm saying this. But if you guys did see it, I know.
It's a good one too, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how long my voice wasn't being fully picked up. So that's scurry. I guess I well, at least I know for next time to check all these things here. If you guys are enjoying the long form content, though, you guys made it all the way to the end. Shout out to you.
Yes, thank you for watching.
Episode 10, we're about 1/5 done with the recording episodes for 2026. Liam's going to be turning 8 in a few months. Caroline's going to be turning 5. Have to always do the math. People are like, you don't know your kid's age? No, it's just constant math. I don't know my age, buddy. I know my son was born in 2018. I just got to 8. I don't even know how old I am. I have to do the same thing. I have to do math. If you guys are young, just so you know, like after like 25-ish, you have to do the math now. You just don't really know how old you are.
I was 34 for 2 years.
Yep,
the whole year I was 33. I thought I was 34. I told everybody.
Yep. You tried to stay younger for an extra year. Like I said, maybe like just technology, and then maybe you can stay at 34.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys like and comment. The comments do help the long form content. Suggesting the content to people you know helps. We're getting a lot less external clicks, which means, like some of the Facebook people aren't clicking on it as much anymore and coming anymore. How dare they? But no, recommend it to people that you think would like it.
Yeah. Your mom.
Your mom's, your dog. Put it on for when you leave the house, put like the podcast playlist on for your dog. Yeah. Because there's like 10 episodes an hour each. That's 10 hours, and it'll just be us talking.
They won't be lonely.
Yeah, and then it'll just be people talking in the house, and your dog will be like, "Oh, sick."
I'll talk to your doggy. Good boy.
Exactly. I hope to God this recorded. Yeah. But we will see you guys next episode for episode 11. We will be doing an I Am the Asshole every like one of them. So Maria will have one next time. and we'll probably do more games, some more question games. We'll see what's popular on the internet. We'll probably got to record tomorrow, to be honest with you. But
Yep.
we also have to watch A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. But that's only like 30 minutes. But it's a really good show.
Yeah, it is.
I know this is going to be out a couple weeks after the show concludes, season 1 concludes. But if you haven't watched it, go and watch. It's called A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It's in the Game of Thrones universe. I'm not going to spoil it. Just go watch it. It's really good.
Do it.
Goodbye.
Bye.